Welcome to the chapter about the Payment Service Provider module. The scenario is that you have a web shop or you sell goods on a marketplace and you need to receive electronic payments. You would use a payment service provider to be able to handle the payments. When that is all established, this is when the Payment Service Provider module can help you. You receive an amount from the payment service provider on your account. The Payment Service Provider module helps you import the information about the amount. It applies the payments and set the different transaction amount to the correct GL accounts, ready for posting. The transaction type might be fees, commission, refunds, and so on. All you need to do is to import the file and press post. So let's get started. You can find almost everything you need to know if you search for PSP. You'll have access to the list of agreements you've set up and the PSP setup guide, and also the list of payment service providers. Let's select the list. There's an example for Klarna, so let's look at that one. For every payment service provider, there's a rule template. The template contains the different transaction type for that specific payment service provider. In this example, you can see it's fee, return, commission, and so on. If you look in the right side of the page, you can see that there's a column called PSP agreement, and that there is one for Klarna. The rule has a name, and the payment service provider is selected from the list. A bank account is also selected. If you go to Related in the top menu, you'll see different options. You can set up a dimension that you want to use for each line, and you can go directly to the PSP agreement rule that has been set up in this example. For each of the transaction types from Klarna, a GL account has been set up so the different transactions will be posted correctly. In the PSP reconciliation setup, you can use extended search to be able to search and match the customer payments based on date and amount. And in posting date tolerance, you can add a bit of flexibility so the dates don't have to match 100% every time. To be able to make a match to the sales invoice based on the reference in the file from the payment service provider, you need to do a little setup in the Payment Management Setup page. In the Fast tab, Payment Recipient Import, go to Update External Payment Reference and select from which field you want to grab the information used in the match. It could be external document number, could be your reference, or even a custom field where you can select which custom field you would like to use. Now you can go to the working area of the solution. Go to the top menu, Cash Management, and select Cash Receipt Journal. From here, select the journal Klarna that has been set up for Payment Service Provider, and here also set up for the Klarna agreement. In the Cash Receipt Journal, select Import Payments and select the settlement file from the Payment Service Provider. Now all the lines have been imported, and in the description you can see the payment reference that matches the one that you also have on your sales invoice. And in this column you can see that the payment has already been applied, and so have these two. You can also see the transaction types, return and fee, and so on, already set up with a predefined GL account all ready for posting. So let's do that. Go to Home in the top menu and select Posting. And yes. That's it. All done.